Okay, so what if white people said the same thing? All right, guys, this is Lex's mom, also known as Mama Lex or Couch Mama. And we don't really have a plan for this episode. It's just like a free-form conversation about some issues, I guess, that we've all experienced.
Yes.
What's it like in your social circles and friends, and like what have you had to deal with like some of the stuff we posted on Facebook? Openly being against Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Like, has that been hard in your social circles and how people may have treated you or said things about her or us? You know what I mean? Things like that.
I only had a few people that had any kind of comment to that. You know, the dream that I thought you were going to live is not your dream. So other people who never had children still think that the dream that I have for you is supposed to be the dream you have for yourself.
Dang.
You growing, I mean, I always wanted you to be independent, and you always were independent. I never, I wanted you to think outside the box.
Girl, you got your wish.
Girl, did I? Woo, Lord, have mercy.
Yeah, a lot of people let politics divide family. Like, I've been unfriended and blocked by brothers.
Relatives.
My literal brothers.
Yeah.
Cousins.
Yeah.
Friends. I've been too many friends to count.
Yeah. And then they also try to, people will try to group you into, if you're not this, you're that. It's very a black and white thing. And it's well, everybody knows that people are divided over individual issues. And even if you feel like one way, you're not going to agree with every single thing that those people do. Maybe not even half of what they do. You just might think they're better than the other, but you might not like either. But it's people love to sort of, they call us white supremacists or black white supremacists. Bootlickers and Uncle Toms.
Yeah, I remember getting the emails about, did you see that picture? Why am I going to separate myself from somebody I love because of something they thought? Heck, if only you knew some of the things I've thought, Do
you think it's weird that black people have to vote for Democrats or else they kind of get socially ostracized? Like Joe Biden saying, if you don't know if you're going to vote for me or Trump, you ain't black. It's just kind of like the open thing. If you're black, you vote Democrat, about 90% Democrat. If you don't, then you're called Uncle Tom, bootlicker, all these. You don't really fit in anymore in the black community.
I guess not being in that predicament, not being on your side of that situation, because I still support Democrats, and mine is pretty much what I just said about my mama was a different Democrat, and my daddy was a Democrat, and my daddy worked at the polls. And, when I was young, sitting at the kitchen table, I was hearing some stories that they divided, and that division was set deep into me about which side you should be on, and the reasons at the time, I guess, that my parents were expressing these thoughts, made complete sense. So I still feel, that I'm One Direction, but did I go and do all the research and find out about the candidates? And I know the history went back and forth, which side you're on and for what reasons you're on that side. I mean, we're on a huge pendulum, Things keep on, they keep moving. But guess what? They're either going one way or the other, and they end up whatever. You stop, you get off the ride, and at this point.
Wait, when you die?
Yeah.
You stop and you get off the ride?
Before you get off that ride, when it just stops, you decide, well, I don't care what other people think.
Just leave me alone. To me, if the government's trying to get in my business and help me, it's probably going to backfire. I mean, no one likes going to the post office, the DMV, any government-run building is always the worst experience in the world. I don't want the government meddling with people based on race. They should just do things for Americans, just have a good playing field for all Americans, have equal opportunity. I'm good. I don't need any special programs based on race. You know what I mean?
And others are saying, oh, but we're so far behind.
Yeah.
We're so far behind.
Right.
And we need, the things that were taken from us, we are never going to catch up. We need to support and be united under one front.
But should we be united as black people or as Americans? It's for me, my identity, black isn't the biggest part of it. It's like I just identify with a bunch of other things. Like for both of us, like how often do we ever ask for help?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you probably count
Right.
the amount of times on like one finger or two fingers.
Right.
And it's like we could be flat broke, couple $100 in a trailer park, struggling. We're not gonna ask for help. But it's like for me, that kind of translates. That's part of my identity. Like I'm gonna figure it out myself.
Right.
So it's like when I go to politics, I'm not looking for help. I'm looking stay out of my way and don't make things uneven.
Right.
You know, I just have an equal opportunity. Don't meddle, and I'll figure it out.
Most people, they're not gonna make it if they don't get some help, because they have no way to figure out which way to go, or no desire to put in the effort to get there.
Right. So that's a huge part of my identity. That drive, the entrepreneurial spirit.
Absolutely. That's
Like that, you know, that
absolutely.
independent American spirit. Like that is more of my identity than just like if I say we or something. I'd probably be talking about that. People with that American spirit, conquer, independence, that kind of thing.
But again, you're in the minority of those people that think that way. You know, the majority again don't feel like they wouldn't know what the heck to do.
I think you might be surprised though at how many people have that independent
out of
spirit.
desperation, huh? Maybe
No, just
like born with it. Like what if it's inborn and it's like sort of beaten out of you? Like what if everyone has it by nature and they want you a certain way, so they teach you that you don't have that spirit and they teach you not to use it.
Amongst most of us,
I mean,
back to the American and black
how many
situation.
small businesses there are in America? And people who work trade, maybe independent contractors. It may look like an employee when you go to a job site. These people may be independent contractors.
Vest. Yeah, a lot of those guys are independent.
It's a lot of
A
lot of people like that.
Are independent.
But you were asking about the black versus American thing.
Like identity, yeah.
I feel that my identity is closer to black because of my experiences, because of what I've gone through, and the way that I've bonded with people over the things I've gone through and the things they've gone through. And, we bond. Whereas American, sometimes people speak. Sometimes they honk their horn at you. Some of them are, they don't look like you want to talk to them. I mean, I don't bond with just everybody. So it's hard to be, I think of myself, I'll be a black American.
Do you think it has a lot to do with the time period you grew up in?
Yeah, civil rights was right there in my lap. I couldn't not think about it.
Right.
We, our gatherings and whatnots, there was prayer about, the struggle, and we as kids, our parents had us in different little organizations that taught us things, and it was different. It was different. It was way different.
And the church that you went to.
Oh, absolutely. Church was your family.
Your parents' status in society and stuff probably affected you.
All of that.
Not to embarrass them and stuff like that.
Right, all that. Jack and Jill and Knights of Peter Claver, and you had all those little entities that promoted the same thought and tried to cultivate their kids to, what they thought was going to be a better life for them.
I think you're more American than you think.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Like, to me, you have a strong independent spirit, not necessarily an entrepreneurial drive, but independent spirit. You don't like to be confined or cooped up or live by anyone's terms. You're the only person who, every time you come to visit, you get a rental car. And that's so you can have freedom of movement. You don't want to be on our time, you're going to be on your time. You know what I mean? I think you have the independent American spirit.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Don't tread on me. Let me do my own thing.
Right.
You travel freely around America, around the world. To me,
that's true.
You very much have the American spirit.
I do. But in my travels, there's only going to be so many of us, and I'm for sure, hey, what's happening? Yeah, you good? I'm good. All right. Well, I see you around. I'll be looking for you. Okay. Okay. We have to depend on each other. Families depend on each other.
Okay, so what if white people said the same thing? We have to depend on each other.
And they probably do. I mean,
openly. I'm white and I'm proud.
I know.
We have to build up the white community, support white people. What if they spoke the same way black people did?
Yeah.
And then how do you think white people feel when black people openly speak like that? Like the black community, we must protect each other, serve each other, build each other up, all this kind of stuff. Do you think they feel excluded any type of way?
I'm sure those that have thought on situations and that are going to have feelings about it, whether You know, some are that was my grandfather or my ancestors or whatever. I didn't do anything and I shouldn't feel any sort of way, yet you're living so well based on the free labor that your ancestors got from my ancestors. I think it would cause a problem if they spoke up like that because it would sound super racist. And you know, yeah, black people are racist too. Yeah. And it's kind of like if you hear, you know, somebody had an argument with someone else. You only hear one side of the story. You don't know what the other side of the story is, but you're going to lean toward the, but if one of those people that was in the argument was your brother, then I'm on my brother's side, regardless of whatever the other argument was.
Even if your brother's lying.
You know, I think sometimes it's not a necessary thing to bring up, race when you're saying how people wearing the, Black Lives Matter or something. If people were like White Lives Matter, the reaction would be like, we already know that. But evidently some people don't know that Black Lives Matter as well. I love everybody, just as long as you don't cross me.
Yeah, I'm like,
we do our thing.
A lot of white friends. How do you think?
Yeah,
how do you think they feel about pro-black stuff? What do you think your white friends?
They say, you're right, or a long time. It should have been that way a long ago, or they're of like mind.
They're supportive. They're saying, I love you.
Right.
I love you.
Right. Yeah. Right. And to all my white friends out there, I love you. So this is just the way it is, though.
You know what I would like to see?
What?
I get coming from the civil rights, generation, things like that, being Black power, all this, we want equal treatment. I totally get it. But then, like, for our generation, things are very different.
Right.
So I would like to see the next generation, like our generation and beyond, transition away from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously. So different.
I think it's becoming more divisive for our generation because people aren't witnessing what people witnessed back when you were younger.
And so they're taking on, this happened my great, but my life has been really good. And so now it's like, I'm going to not associate with people who have been really good to me.
Like, our lives have been great. Like, when I talk to my dad, he's like, make sure when you go on a road trip, stop in big cities. We purposely stop in the middle of nowhere because it's not so much traffic, not so crowded. We get great treatment everywhere we go. People are super nice in the gas station, out the gas station.
I find that too.
Yeah, people are nice.
I find that too.
There are so
many nice people.
Great.
I don't ever get negative.
Right.
I never get any negative stuff. Yeah. But again, I know those who did.
That may not have been the same 50 years ago.
No,
you know what I mean?
And more than that, I mean.
I totally get how people grew up in a different era. They have different life experiences that shape their beliefs. I get it, but for people our age, like, things are not bad at all. Like, I can't think of anybody of any race, like, them having more opportunities than I have. Like, what can I not do right now because I'm Black?
Right.
And I can't think of
more now because you're Black.
If anything, it's going to be easier to get into college, easier to get a job, like, easier to do a lot of things because I'm Black.
Easier to record an incident at a restaurant or something like that and have it go viral and people speak on your behalf. Easier to get a lawyer representation if the cops do something to you that's not appropriate. Like, it's in many ways it's easier to be Black nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sweet. But I don't feel any kind of discriminatory treatment.
Right. And again, everyone is not treated the same way. There, and it may be the presence that you bring to the room as to how the people respond to you, but everybody is not treated kindly.
Well, the thing is, if it's the presence I bring to the room, then wouldn't that speak to more the people are treated by how they carry themselves than by race? Because I'm still Black. No matter how I carry myself, I'm Black. If a person's racist, they should treat me like crap.
Yep. But it's real easy, I guess, for them to snap and think animal, Black, big man with, he's attitudinal, and they project things onto you that you then respond to.
But the thing is, some things may be projection, but some things are praised within Black culture. Like, if you take a guy, he's super tatted up, wears a grill, gold chain, cusses, sells drugs, gangbangs. No one's ever going to say, oh, you're a sellout. You're a sellout to your race. You sold out. You know what I mean?
Tom.
Now take a guy who speaks properly, has a good job, wears a suit and tie. People say, oh, you're a sellout. Look how he talks. He talks white. He's a sellout. So it's like,
I wonder who says that. Is that like a...
Oh, a lot of people.
Oh, people in my family have said that to my brothers and all kind of things.
I guess.
And then on social media in general, just interacting, Black Twitter, yes, that is a thing. It does exist. Things like that. But you'll never see a black man who portrays a gangster be called a sellout.
And that's something.
But one who portrays a professional
because it's
image,
okay to be associated with that.
he'll be
But
called a
it's not
sellout.
okay
Right.
to be associated with the tie and suit.
So to me, yeah, within the black community, what we call black is usually ghetto.
And that is, again, which section of the black community are you talking about?
I'm talking about middle class people as well, not just you live in the projects.
mainstream
Because from my own cousins and brothers, when we would have debates like last year in 2020 about Black Lives Matter and things like that, they'll say, well, Brad, you don't understand because you're not from the hood. I'm like, what does being from the hood have to do with being black? There are white people from the hood, from the ghettos, and there are black people from the hood, from the ghetto. But they're saying my opinion was less valid because I'm not ghetto, I'm not from the hood. But I'm still the same amount of black.
Experience, right.
So they're like subconsciously equating ghetto to black. And you need to be ghetto to have an opinion on Black Lives Matter and black events. So to me, it's 1-to-1, ghetto and black in a lot of people's minds. It's weird.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
Your generation, I feel like the older, like the sort of culture that was promoted was much more like, you know,
people were protesting in suits.
Yeah, they're protesting in suits, and it's like, let's peacefully, actually peacefully protest.
Right.
And
present themselves.
let's show people that we're not these people that they say we are.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's
so they show up
like,
in there. Right.
Let's get educated.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And even Malcolm X has quotes about different politicians and like how you can't trust either one. And but yet modern day, they'll say the revolution won't be televised on a commercial, and people will be like, yeah, it won't be televised while watching the commercial.
Never thought about that.
So backwards. It's so backwards.
Never thought about that one.
So we even get comments on YouTube, be like, oh, you guys aren't really black. You're not familiar with Tupac. Or look, you guys talk. We know you guys grew up in a good neighborhood, went to private schools and all this kind of stuff. That's because how we carry ourselves. It's like people really think.
Yeah, they'll be like, they'll literally say he doesn't know anything about single parenthood.
Yeah.
Having a single parents. It's like.
That's what they equate to black, growing up in a single mom in the ghetto. And you had to speak Ebonics or something.
It's like, what if the...
And if I got on YouTube talking about what's good, dog, this and that, no one's going to say, oh, he's not really black.
Right.
No. Like, oh, yeah, that's black. He's black.
Yeah.
He's black, y'all. I've known his mom since 6th grade. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, these are thoughts and conversations that have been going on for years and years and years and years. And I'm sure they'll continue to go on for years and years and years. I don't know that in our lifetime we will see us get out of the way that people think right now. It's taken a long time to get to this point where we are actually a voice. Now, you know, the reaction to the voice, I don't know if that's going to actually, again, happen in our lifetime, because people are not willing to change. A lot of people are just comfortable. You know, keep your head low. It's too hard to think about. It's too hard to take on a reality or to absorb, you know, the whether it's fault or praise or whatever. You know, I don't want to get involved in that. It's too deep of a thought. You know, it's easier to go with the flow. You know,
right?
If all the folks you grew up with think this way, and your mom thinks this way, and your church thinks this way, then I guess this is the way to think.
Right.
Unless I want to go do my own personal research and figure out why that's not my choice.
It's a bumpy road.
And people would rather go, you know, I'd rather go on vacation or, you know, let's get something to eat. You know, let's just drop that whole thing.
Okay, guys, in this episode, we're going to do a rapid fire round. I'm going to say some phrases, and this first thing that comes to mind, you can just say that.
Got it.
Okay. Founding fathers.
Slave owners.
America.
USA.
Africa.
Homeland.
You want to ask us any? I mean, I've heard them.
Ooh, that's a good
You want to do one for us?
You got any?
Wow. Thinking. What can I say? Martin Luther King.
Right here.
I'm sorry.
Keep you on screen.
Wait, is it me or you?
Both of us. We could just maybe both.
Whatever you say. Ready? Martin Luther King.
Hero.
A man.
Let's see. Who else? Barack Obama.
Charming.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
I would say a mask.
A mess or mask?
Mask.
M-A-S-K. Mask. Okay. Hospitals.
Stay
Disgusting.
away.
Healthcare.
I don't want it.
Expensive.
Family.
Protection.
Conniving.
Wow.
Hey, they'll stab you in the back just like anyone else. All right, guys, this was just a conversation. I know there's going to be some points in the conversation. You guys are like, oh, say this, say this. This is not a pull out all your statistics, gotcha, I'm going to prove you wrong kind of conversation. It's just a conversation.
And there's no hate.
Make of it what you want.
Don't interpret anything I said as hate.
Yeah, I know there's going to be some parts that are going to be
I know, but that's... do you want me to be real with you?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hey, that's what the
Yeah,
couch is
That's
about.
what I'm saying.
hitting people over the head with facts. That's how you shut down the conversation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Make sure you guys share this video. We never really say like and share and comment all this stuff, but if you know anybody that would like to see a conversation like this, make sure you share it.
I don't know. Tell me, man, what do you know? What do you know? Me and my boys on the road. We to go. She told me, boy, you to go. Like, I don't know. But I don't know.